Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. This lesson shouldn't be too long, but just going into if you're a follower of Yahawashi, it's going to show through you. You know, it's going to be different than the followers of Caesar Borgia, the followers of Buddha or whatever. You know, the signs are going to be there, and it's not just the outward appearance. This is something that's on the inside that shows through. The same way, you could see, how do you say, like somebody that has like a lot of pride on them. The same way that you could see that somebody, just how they carry themselves. You could tell somebody is very prideful and whatnot by how they carry themselves, the look that they have on their face, because this is what's inside them is protruding out of them. The same way, if somebody is happy, sad, that thing that's inside them is revealing itself through the person's expression. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 3, and I'm going to start at verse 1, and this is in the NLT. It says, "Are we beginning to praise ourselves again? Are we like others who need to bring you letters of recommendation, or who ask you to write such letters on their behalf? Surely not." And the point here in verse 2, the only letter of recommendation we need is you yourselves. Your lives are a letter written in our hearts. Everyone can read it and recognize our good work among you. So you are a letter from the anointed, showing the result of our ministry among you. This letter is not written with pen and ink, but with the spirit of the living power. It is carved not on tablets of stone, but on human hearts. But the point was being in verse 2. It says, the only letter of recommendation we need is you yourselves. So if you're a follower of Yahawashi, Hamashiach, you don't need anybody to vouch for you, except for Yahawashi, but you yourselves are that letter of recommendation. You are that representation of Yahawashi. Like going into a letter of recommendation. Was it like addressed to somebody? It's like, hey, this guy is a good guy. He works hard, this, that, whatever. But you don't need that because you're that letter of recommendation. You yourself, how you carry yourself. That spirit that you're in. You're that letter of recommendation. You're the signs that, hey, we're doing the right thing. You're the sign that, hey, those who taught you, those who taught them, their teachers and so on, hey, they were in the right spirit. They did a good job. So that's the point. You yourself, you're a follower of Yahawashi, and you're following him to the T, to the best of your ability. Because we know we're in this flesh. We're going to go off from time to time, but hey, we fully believe in him. We're that letter of recommendation. This is let me see here. Let me go to this first. This is John chapter 13 and verse 34. "A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another." So one more time. "A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another." So let's look at this word for new here. This is G2537, kainos, which goes into, recently made, fresh, or renewed. So it's not a brand new commandment that is recent, like just never been here before, new. No, this is refreshed. This is an old commandment and it's being brought back to life again. So that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. So let's look at this word for love, agapao. G25 says to love in a social and moral sense of persons, welcome to entertain, to be fond of, to love dearly. And that's not in the sense of, the world where they say, oh, I love you. And then, you hug and kiss and all this kind of stuff. No, this is a different kind of love. This is an essential kind of love. This is spiritual. Because here in the world, you'll have a woman or anything like that, and she'll be all like, oh, I love you, and then the next day, she's like she never even knew you. The next day, you're blocked and not returning your calls or nothing like that. She done moved on to another dude. No, this ain't like that. This is in a brotherly sense, in a duty kind of sense. This isn't an essential thing. This is a spiritual thing because we're all part of one body. In the same way, Yahawashi, the kind of love that he had for his people, his sheep, being able to go out and feed them and teach them every day, to help them, to heal them. That's the kind of love that Yahawashi had, and if we're followers of him, we have that same kind of love to constantly want to teach, to constantly want to help. But not, not the outside, not the heathen, not these 2/3. No, fuck them. But for our own, though, to help the followers of Yahawashi. So again, John chapter 13 and verse 34, a new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. So the same way Yahawashi, he showed his love for us, and ultimately a sacrificing himself for us, so that we could return, so that we could have hope, so that we could be free, so that we could really, what we got to look forward to now is new bodies, the laws, statutes, commandments put within us. And without him, that wouldn't even be possible. That wouldn't even be a thing even thought of. Without the love that Yahawashi showed for us, and we would still be just niggas in the world, or whatever we were doing, walking in darkness. So one more time, this is John chapter 13 and verse 34. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one to another. So this is how you're going to know. It's not going to be an outward appearance, an outward show. It's going to be what's on the inside. You following Yahawashi, that him, his spirit dwelling within you, and people are going to be able to tell the love that you have for one another. They're going to see something that's different. You're not like the other worldly Christians. Not like the other, Israelite camps. Because even, just because you say you love one another, that don't mean nothing. That's just a saying. This is Leviticus 19. Matter of fact, let me Because it's Leviticus 19 and verse 17. Because love goes into more than just saying I love you. Let's see here. And this is a commandment, Leviticus 19 and verse 17, and also showing that the commandments are not done away with. The commandments are still here. Baruch chapter 4, it says this is the book of the commandments that lead to life. You know, you still try to keep the commandments to the best of your ability, because you can't do everything. There's certain ones you can't do. Like all the, like say clothing, for instance. All the clothing is mixed fabric. You know, it's cotton, polyester, elastic, whatever. All this shit is defiled. The food is defiled. You don't know what you're eating. The women that you got with. The woman was not a virgin when you got with her. And it goes on. But the point being, you can keep, if you're a follower of Yahawashi, you can keep this commandment. This is Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. So if you're brothers, not just every brother, not just because you see a so-called black person, so-called Mexican, whatever. Hey, what's up, brother? You my brother. No, in this truth. Following under Yahawashi. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. So if you hate your brother, you're not gonna rebuke him in any kind of way. You're not gonna give him any kind of correction. You know, you're not gonna try to help him out any kind of way. You see him suffering, you see him, making bad decisions. You're not gonna try to help him out in any kind of way. You're just gonna let him keep going. But if you love him, you try to help him out. Like, look, brother, that's not the right thing to do. Or look, brother, man, you're doing too much. Or look, brother, look, whatever it may be, you're gonna show love towards him. You're not gonna suffer sin upon him. You know, and if he's a brother also, he's gonna see that, you know what, I'm tripping, I'm going off. The water Yahawashi for correcting me. Because it's a good thing to receive correction. It's a good thing to be corrected. That's showing that Yahawashi is there looking, watching over you. Because you don't want to be like Esau Edom, who's been going all this time without any kind of correction. If you're not receiving any kind of correction, that's not a good sign. No correction at all. Look at Esau Edom. He's been going all this time. No kind of correction. Living off the fat of the earth. Doing all kinds of wickedness. And we know his end. He's going to be utterly destroyed. But for you, a follower of Yahawashi, all the correction that comes, give thanks to Yahawashi. This is Romans chapter 12. Let me see here. I might start up a little bit. Romans chapter 12, and I'll start at verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahawashi, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice. And if you come to serve Yahawashi, you can't come empty-handed. We don't have anything to offer. So we present our bodies. We present our lives. We dedicate our entire lives to Yahawashi Yahawashi. And these teachings, the video lessons, these video epistles, the street speakings, our daily lives, all this is a sacrifice to Yahawashi Yahawashi. And we try to live as perfectly as possible. You know, we try to do this to the best we can do it. And that's not boasting or anything like that, but ultimately we ain't nobody, but this is all we can do. It says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi, which is your reasonable service. So, if you don't have love, if you don't have a agape, which is brotherly love, if you don't have that, then how could you be, a follower of Yahawashi? How could you be keeping the commandments? Because all the commandments pretty much sit around that, having brotherly love. And be not conformed to this world. So don't be, let's see here, conformed. This is G4964, cis schematizo. It says to conform oneself, one's mind and character to another's patterns. So don't be conformed to this world. Don't shape your mode of thinking to how this world thinks love is. That it's just a bunch of hearts and candies and things like that. And be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, which this is also, I believe, anakinosis, which is G342, anakinosis, renovation, renewing. So which also goes into kainos, that being made new or refresh. So you have to renew your mind. And how do you do that? Through these scriptures. Through being around brothers. By being able to be rebuked, by taking rebuke, by prayer, by fasting. Because the world doesn't take rebuke. Esau, Edom, he don't take rebuke. But be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. So, So every day, let's look at this word for prove. G1381 dokimazo says to test, to allow, to discern, examine, to test, examine, prove, scrutinize, to see whether a thing is genuine or not, as metals. And the scriptures also, it compared with the elect to fine gold, to silver, and also the building of the temple. So different kinds of materials, different kinds of metals, different kinds of stones. So you're examining whether through the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi, you're examining whether what Yahawashi said is true, whether this is really good. And you're trying it out. And every day you're renewing your mind, because already you knew in the world, from coming out of the world into this truth, into the light, you're already seeing that the way the world, the way they thought, the way that the world moves, all that stuff, that ain't right. That don't work. That stuff doesn't hold up. Let's see here. But that's pretty much it. I got to get into the J, but I'll read this one more time. You know what? I'll read this one more time and I'll close out where I started. This is Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. And be not conformed, Salakia, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, yet ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High, Yahawashi. So again, this is 2 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 2. The only letter of recommendation we need is you yourselves. Your lives are a letter written in our hearts. Everyone can read it and recognize our good work among you. So you yourself, you being renewed every day by the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahawashi, the Rakak Wadash, you're gonna be that living letter, that living letter of recommendation, that this is the way. Matter of fact, I think there's, I might close it. Let me see here. This is right. God. This is Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 18. But the path of the just is as the shining light, and that light is Yahawashi. We're following after him. He's leading us along the paths that we're going, or the path that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. So you following Yahawashi, hey, this path, this light is going to shine more and more. And hey, the world, the people around us, they're going to see it. And Lord willing, hey, who the Yahweh Shem Yahawashi chooses to believe, hey, they'll see it and start to shine too. But that was it for this lesson. Hey, Lord willing, it was edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. Shalom.